Hello, everyone, and welcome to episode 107 of the Friday Nightmares podcast. I am one half of your hosting team this evening, Mr. Smoke Show Crawford, coming to you from the town of Swartz Creek in the county of Genesee, in the state of Michigan, in the United States of America, in the North American continent, in the Western Hemisphere, on the planet Earth, in the Milky Way galaxy. I'm fully vaxxed, boosted, and waxed and ready to climax, and if you can, please get me wet and feed me after midnight. I'm the man with the glorious beard, aka Mother of Cats, aka the man with the humongous ego, aka Scotthausen, aka Scotty Too Hottie, aka Spanky, aka Hey Scott. And with me, as always, is
Heather Powell coming to you today from Waterdown, Ontario, Canada. It's been a summer. Scott and I last recorded in July when we struggled with online recording
oh God,
softwares.
yeah.
We are being sneaky with using my work's Zoom account. So that's what works for us. Here we are, September 7th, recording, catching up on all the summer blockbusters or things that they were blockbusters, but we question how great they actually are. I didn't ask Scott if he wanted to do this beforehand, but I feel like we should give a heads up that Scott and I are coming to the end of our run here with Friday Nightmares.
Yes.
It's as people can tell, we set these episodes out less and less frequently, and that's due to many reasons. Life changes, interest changes, and just the reality of our schedules. So we will finish out this year. Scott and I are committed to doing that.
And I think
And
we wanted to do an award show for this
we will
year.
do an award show for this year, and that may be our last episode. I don't know if we'll do something after that. We'll have to see how we're feeling, but we will announce it if it's our last show, which will probably be at the end of the year. We'll do one more in January. I don't know if we'll come back once in a while, and maybe next year we'll do a top 26 if we end up watching enough movies just for shits
Yeah.
and giggles. So you may hear from us occasionally, but it all comes to a time and a place, and this has been a fabulous run for, I guess it would be 5, 6. Well, we
Yeah, it's
started at
going
the
on.
end of
It'll be
what did
going
we?
on 6 years in January. Once we
Okay,
hit January.
so 5 years to me is a pretty good run. That
Yeah.
sounds about the length of my relationships in general. But all joking aside, we just have different interests, and I think for me, I've started volunteering at my local animal shelter, and that's something that's a real passion project to me. I talked about how my dad passed away last year. That's required a lot more support of my mom and doing stuff with her. And of course, Scott is a father now, and his
Yep.
son is in marching band, which for any Americans out there, that's basically like a lifetime commitment.
Yeah, I was gonna say pretty much like 2 to 3 days a week are immediately taken up every single week for games, practices, meetings, you name it. I gotta be there, and being the dad, being trying to be the supportive dad that I am, gotta try to be everything I can. And we also got our oldest is a senior this year, and our youngest is a junior or a freshman this year. So lots of meetings, lots of planning, lots of money being spent, lots of time being needed for open houses, and also getting married. It's so a lot of time we're just getting sucked away right now. It's been very, very busy and hectic. And
And they're also filming the remake of Stepfather 2025 as
exactly.
well. Just Scott like freaking out because he just wants to can his tomatoes, and Connor has to get the band practice, and Scott loses it. That's
Why don't you let me be in my garden?
who am I here? I'm Gardner Scott, or am I Scotty? Or am I who am I? That you're like with your pitchfork in the air.
I don't know what's
Um,
going on anymore.
you're right. I don't know. I'm just so fucking tired.
Ain't
But
that the
yeah,
fucking truth?
isn't that the fucking truth? But Scott and I have always said that we want to leave on the right way. I personally hate it when I'm listening to a podcast and they just disappear. It actually really
Yes.
upsets me greatly. So I don't want that to be us. I don't. That is not us. We are not them, Scotty.
Yeah.
We are
And we're
not.
not
them.
and we're not retiring or anything like that. It
Oh
just
yeah.
we're done.
Those
This was a hobby project of ours from the COVID era, and we went from doing it once a month to bi-weekly, hell, even sometimes weekly with some of our trivia stuff that we
yeah.
did because
Yeah.
COVID made us really fucking bored.
Oh man.
And
We
then
did a
now it's
lot of
gone
shit.
back to like once every month and a half to 2 months. So it's
yeah, yeah, yeah. We've come back to where we started long time
exactly.
ago. And I really want to thank everyone who has reached out to me. A lot of friends, not like we have all these fans that reach out to me, but and have said what good chemistry Scott and I have.
Yeah.
I 100% believe that, and Scott and I's friendship has shone out through many of these episodes over
Yes.
the years. And you'll hear it today because we got some bangers to talk about. So,
Oh boy, do
thank
we ever.
do we ever? So, thank you. And like, when we leave, we'll probably give a special thank you to certain podcasters that supported us. But as much as we've razzed some of our podcasting partners in crime, such as Rob the Hump at Slasher Radio, and Dummies of Horror with Tim Davis and Daniel Luffy. They are quality podcasters and they are not hanging up their head anytime soon. So
Nope.
please,
And
please support them.
I was saying they'll always have a lifetime fan in me listening to their shows.
Forever. I'm forever a Patreon, even though I have yet to get my sexy calendar in the mail from Tim. But
Oh, you better call him out on that shit.
I know. Where's
Tim,
my sexy calendar,
Tim,
Tim?
you hear that? Wait, you're getting a sexy calendar? I'm a Patreon too, so Tim, start putting out, buddy.
Yeah, you know what? That's really what we come down to. Scott and I don't believe in consent. We just take what we want. That's how
Exactly.
we roll. So yeah, so please listen to, and there's many other, The Horror Returns, Exploding Head Movie Podcast. There's many other great
Yeah,
podcasts
Eternal
out
Darkness,
there.
Not So Spotless Minds.
Regardless mine, yes. Like there's great podcasters, and it's been a pleasure to be with them. We do so I know like I sound like we're dying. We're coming back at least two more times. But I'd like to be honest and give the heads up because I
Yes.
care, and so does Scott. This was definitely a labor of love, but I like how you said we're not gonna say we retired because we have burned. This is where the truth comes out. We have made fun of so many podcasters. like at our level. I'm not talking to the people that like get paid real money to podcast. Like I'm talking like Scott and I's level, who talk about retiring from podcasting. I think is the stupidest shit.
Yeah, because especially it's like we don't make money off this, so there is no
No.
retirement unless you are putting your Patreon money for the people that do Patreon into a 401k or something.
You're like making big Patreon. Like, and I follow some pretty big podcasters on Patreon, and they don't have that many Patreon followers.
No,
Like, you know what I mean? You gotta be pretty big to make this into a full-time luscious career. So
right.
that is not us. So there's no such thing as retiring. We just stop.
Exactly. We have we have come to the limits of what we are capable of doing anymore because life is life, and we're
Yeah,
just
life has changed. Life has changed. But like I honestly, every time you talk about the kids, I swear to God, you're making a Stepfather remake. Like I just picture you like, and I'm the drunk aunt. I still like. There was years ago that we made that joke, and it never stops being funny that I said something like, maybe Scott isn't a famous podcaster. Like, where she's doing like the research on the guy and he's not in real estate, like there's
oh
no
yeah.
credit history and there's, and like the drunk aunt puts it together just too late because he comes over and kills her at I'm like, that would happen. I'd be drunk. Fuck, I was drunk and high last night. So, I would definitely it's fair that would happen. Only it would be like something related to your gardener thing. So it'd be a little cropsy coming in there with your
Yeah.
clippers,
Ooh, I like that. I like that.
right?
And
That's
actually, and Darren Wilson, if you still listen to our show, which I think you still do, um, we need a Photoshop of me on the cover of The Stepfather. Just
100%. And I be at the side like the drunk aunt with like a martini glass, like, oh no, he's not a favorite podcaster. Like,
that
see,
would be
anyway,
amazing.
that would be amazing. Oh fuck. Okay, we'll get into this. We watched some movies over the summer. Um, fuck, I didn't even get the right name on the sheet for this, but I will kick us off with a anthology, but was so bad I don't even think I told Scott about it. Like I was like, no, no.
Oh,
I
Erica and I watched the trailer to this and we're going, oh no,
oh, I'm
oh
so
no.
sorry.
Yeah, we couldn't. We're like, nope, we're not. We can't.
You're like, there's trouble down that road. I don't want to go down that road. It was bad. All right. So
Oh,
this is Tales from the Black Manor.
woo.
Enter the chilling world of the Tales of the Black Manor, the story that begins in the 1300s and continues through time to the end of the world, following one family's ties to death. Jesus Christ. The story unfolds across generations, across the Black family, and as they possess the secret book of death, and it seeks. Okay, all these people die of natural things, okay? Like, some of them die in the fucking war. It's not like. Honestly, there's not a lot of. This movie's dumb. So anyway, how this movie is shaped is it starts with like a family and their origins, and you kind of have each generation. It's kind of like the Fear Street saga. For anyone who ever read the Fear Street saga books, just read them. Don't watch this movie because this movie's garbage.
Hmm, hmm.
I don't know. Like, there's like 1 star rating here, a star and a half. It was just so boring, drawn out. None of the stories were really interesting or good, and it felt like it was 200 minutes, not 91 minutes.
Oof.
So, but if for some reason you want to, I don't know, see the most boring storytelling of history ever, you can watch this on Amazon Canada, US, Plex, Fawsome, USA. I'm gonna miss hearing about all these different streaming services that I didn't even know
Right.
existed. Yeah, if it's free on Plex, go ahead. But again, only if you really, really like boring history would I recommend this bad boy right here.
Well, since we're kind of going with the theme here, let me tell y'all about the next gem that I watched. This one is called The Last Cabin. It's a 80-minute runtime, and trapped in a remote cabin, a film crew finds themselves stalked by three masked men who know the isolated forest and their every move. This is a found footage film, and yet they lots of failed attempts at trying to make this actually found footage. Break every rule that I ever listed. Um, the characters were all just unlikable. There was no redeeming quality. The effects were extremely low budget and didn't even try to hide it. The mask killers looked like they just got like a mask from a dollar store, which, okay, that could be creepy, but it just felt just out of place. What else was there? Oh, it was also tried to be the Blair Witch because there was literally a scene with the main girl towards the end where she points the camera at her face and she starts crying and going, "I'm sorry, Mom. I'm sorry, Dad." I'm like, oh my fucking God. And we already know how much I love the original Blair Witch Project, so seeing that, I'm just like, fuck this. This is stupid. It was just bad. I don't even recommend this. Like, and I'm a found footage apologist, and I gave this 1.5 stars out of 5 on Letterbox. Um,
Oof, oof.
good old sexy Matt Wood. I found his review. He goes, pretty straight up Cabin in the Woods found footage movie. All I can really remember was that the actress was pretty crap. Yep. And the film wasn't scary. Yep. Like most found footage films these days. And he gave it
Well, it
two and a
sums
half
it up.
stars.
Sums it up right there.
And yeah, and if you want to watch this gem, Apple TV, Google Play, Amazon, YouTube, Fandango. I don't recommend renting this. This was just bleh. If it comes on Tubi and you're a found footage apologist, maybe. But
Maybe, and you're
yeah,
desperate.
yeah, good. But otherwise, yeah, avoid this one. This one was just bad.
You should just go can tomatoes. Just gotta
Exactly.
watch this
Live my
movie.
life.
Do anything else, actually, instead of watching this movie. All right, this next one, don't hang up. I saw this a while ago, and I can barely remember it. That tells you how
Nope.
great it was.
All I can say is hello. Oh, you hang up first. No, you hang up first. You hang up first. Don't hang
Haunted by the Past, Summer, of course, Summer was her name.
up.
Anyway, travels to Tulsa, Oklahoma for the wedding of a college friend. Her boyfriend Chris couldn't make it, but she keeps in constant contact with him via
Cock
FaceTime.
tack.
Contact. That's how I keep in contact. Contact. After the wedding, Summer and her two friends, Vicky and Eve. Oh yes, the three girls are back in the Airbnb they rented out for the weekend. This was also found footage.
Oh
Um,
boy.
and unaware that their presence in the house has unleashed the ghosts of the family. Okay, it's coming back to me now. This wasn't as bad as I remember it.
Okay.
Um, this was definitely low budget. It sounds better than the one you watched. So if this was us in 2021, 2022, I would have been like, Scott, watch it. But I know you fucking have no time. So I will just say out there for anyone who enjoys found footage, I believe it's Esmeen. Did I say that right?
Oh, Esme Gray, yes.
Esme Gray. You may like this. This is something you would appreciate. But you gotta like indie, like true independent horror, and
Yes.
it's not bad. Like it was only let's see, it was 90 minutes. It didn't overstay its welcome. And yeah, I think like it does give the vibe that you're talking in real time to somebody is one of the feedbacks here. And they gave it 1 star, but I don't take that as an insult. Like I thought it did a pretty good job of using the phone calls with the boyfriend to like document what's going on.
Oh,
Anyway,
okay.
it was an effort. But I would say only watch this if you are a found footage completist and you have the time to do so.
All right. Well, I may try to watch it because, I am a found footage lover now. Like, that's one thing I can say about this podcast that I started this podcast hating found footage, and then now it's become my favorite subgenre of horror.
You're like, now I love found footage
Yeah. I'll watch all the shit just to find the good stuff.
and canning tomatoes.
Yeah. And speaking of can't rather be canning tomatoes and not watch this shit, here's another winner that I came across. Uh, this one is called Fear Cabin, The Last Weekend of Summer. It's got a 77-minute runtime. Six friends rent a cabin in the middle of the woods on the last
Oh,
weekend of
fuck's
summer
sakes.
and set out to have an amazing time full of partying and drinking. Whee! Party drinking time, yeah!
Bad decisions, yay!
Little do they know that they will be sharing this cabin with an unexpected guest. Will they make it out alive?
No.
You won't give a shit if they do. It just this one's on Tubi. That's why I watched it. You don't. That's all I can say. I just didn't like anything about this. For 77 minutes, it felt like 2 hours. I was bored to tears. The acting was painful. The story just felt like it went nowhere and then jumped all over the place when it finally did go somewhere. It just felt like an incoherent mess. Just avoid this one. It not worth your time. Yeah, another one that I think I gave it 1.5, 2 stars.
Ooh, big rating, big rating.
Yeah, I'm trying to give out my worst ratings right now so I can get to the better stuff later.
Yeah, we're like, this sucked, this sucked. Don't worry, we got a Mac Daddy coming that was the
Oh
best
fuck,
film
yeah,
of
we
the
did.
year. Oh, amazing. All right, well, I managed to find something on Netflix. Oh, where can you find this? Sorry, did you say?
This one was on Tubi
Tubi,
and
okay.
Amazon, Google Play, and YouTube.
No, at least it's on Tubi.
Yeah, but
Like,
still don't.
still don't. Don't watch it. Don't go there. This one is called Brick. It's on Netflix. It's I can't remember which language it's in originally. They want to leave, but their apartment won't let them. When a mysterious brick wall encloses their apartment overnight, Tim and Olivia must unite with their weary neighbors to get out alive. This was interesting. Basically, this couple's gonna split up, and the chick goes to leave, and there's a brick wall. They can't get out of this
Hmm.
apartment anywhere. There's just brick walls all over the fucking place. It's science fictiony with like that horror enclosed element. Judging how Netflix has been this year, this may win the Netflix award.
Oh boy.
I would say it was enjoyable. If you like science fiction and you like the idea of confined horror and relationships, this is obviously a metaphor of what the brick wall means in this film. But it was entertaining. I enjoyed it enough. So I would say if you got the netty and you like the science fiction and you like some relationship, horror-ish confined spaces, this could be for you.
Okay.
Captions and dubbing are available.
Nice. Okay. Because yeah, this one sounds the synopsis almost kind of is like that French movie Lockdown.
Yes, but better.
Okay. Interesting.
Lockdown was weird.
Yes, yes, it was. It was very weird.
This is more straightforward. Like, oh shit, there's a brick wall and we can't get out. What the
Okay.
fuck? Right? So I would say that it's, I wouldn't run out and say, get Netflix if you don't have it to
Right.
watch this film. But I would say that it was entertaining enough. If
Okay.
you have the Netflix and you like the science fiction.
Good to know. I will have to look this one up because yeah, I don't think I've watched a single Netflix this year, and I don't. It's because I don't have Netflix to skim anymore, so now I just gotta
That's
wait
fair.
for friends to load it up on Plex.
Yeah, I don't think anyone's loaded this up on Plex. You may have to ask for it.
Okay.
So it'll just be
Um,
me doing the Netflix award this year. Me
it
deciding.
might very well be.
As it always should have been. Just me deciding
Yes.
what the best movies are anyway.
Now this next one is just you. I have not got a chance to watch it yet, unfortunately.
What?
Yeah, I seen it was on Shutter, just not had the chance yet.
This is an Aussie cunt film.
Ozzy, 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 oi, oi,
Aussie,
oi.
oi, oi, oi. Tim's like, I fucking hate you guys. I'm so glad you're ending. The Ocean Lead, sorry, Dangerous Animals, also known as Scott and I when we get
Yeah,
loose.
yeah. Wow.
The ocean leaves no trace. A savvy and free-spirited surfer is abducted by a shark-obsessed serial killer, held captive on his boat. She must figure out how to escape before he carries out a ritualistic feeding to the sharks below. The villain in this is quite good. You kind of get behind the villain, I would say, more than you get behind the girl.
Oh, okay.
Because he's funny. He's funny. He's kind of the highlight of the film. It's a fairly smooth ride. Matt Wood gave it 3 stars. Tim gave it 2.5. Rob Humphreys gave it 3. I would say it was a 3 star. Dave Bailey gave it 3.5. I would say it was a 3 star for me. I enjoyed it. It had a clear plot to it that was, easy enough to follow. And of course, there's like unrealistic things that happen. It's a fucking shark film.
Right.
But the shark footage isn't super cheesy from what I recall. And it's really the main guy here that carries the film. Like, he makes it quite entertaining and well done. I would say if you like shark films, if you like the whole captive, how am I going to escape kind of horror, this is for you. This is definitely one of the better films, I would say. And that is kind of a low bar of not the top of 2025, but not the bottom of 2025.
Right.
It's floating in the middle there. Floating like the ship.
Yeah.
So if you're interested, it's on Apple TV, Google Play, Amazon, Cineplex if you live in Canada, and Plex as well for rent. And I would say if like you like shark movies or you like survival films, it's worth it. It has a 3.0 rating on Letterboxd, which to me is average. Like, that means it's an average entertaining film.
Yeah, that makes sense. And yeah, I'm glad to hear it's at least pretty decent. So I definitely plan on watching it at some point. I definitely have a list that I've been making of the more important films to watch, like and ones I'm saving for
Yeah,
when Eric and I have time, and then ones I'm saving where I'm going. I know this ain't going to be good, but I can probably watch this at work. So
I would definitely watch it before the end of the year because he could win best villain.
okay, perfect.
Like, he's
Awesome.
that like annoying but like funny and creepy that he could win best villain.
Right. Okay, nice.
Um,
And yeah, speaking of another one that's good, kind of in the middle of, good, not great, but not very bad either. It's like around a 7.5 for me, is the movie Monster Island, which is a Shudder
really,
exclusive. Yeah,
this was
uh,
a 10 for me.
I know. I was gonna say, like, I was looking forward to this one.
What the
But I'll
fuck
get
is
into
wrong
this.
with you?
Well, let me get the synopsis and I'll kind of get into it.
Okay, all right.
Um, it's got an 83-minute runtime. In the Pacific, 1944, a Japanese soldier and a British prisoner of war are stranded on a deserted island, hunted by a deadly creature. Two mortal enemies must come together to survive the unknown. So actually, thinking about it a little more right now, I would say it's more an 8 than a 7.5 for me. I because this is a creature feature straight up. And I gotta say the CGI effects, because it wasn't a creature or man in a suit for this creature, which they totally could have done, which kind of takes away from it for me.
It wasn't? I thought it was.
Now, as
At
far
parts it
as
was.
well, let me double check.
Yeah, I thought there were parts where I'm pretty sure it was a dude in a suit.
Let me see. Guy in the suit. See if I can find anything quickly.
Yeah,
Okay. Oh,
yeah, there was a guy because he.
Alan Maxon. Okay, well then, foot and mouth. I thought it looked CGI, so okay.
Wow, this is why we gotta quit because you don't know what the fuck's
Yeah.
going on anymore.
I'm losing my goddamn mind apparently. But okay, so yeah, never
The
mind
fucking
that.
tomatoes.
So yeah, 8.5 then.
There we go. Did you see this on Friday Nightmares? In live and in person, Scott's ratings going up as he realizes more about the film. You know it was inspired from the creature with the Black Lagoon, right? Does
Yes,
that
I
make
was
it
gonna
go up for you at all?
well, I was good. No, I was gonna say it's definitely a more violent version of Creature from the Black Lagoon.
Yes.
The part I just felt was kind of unoriginal was this exact story: Japanese soldier, British prisoner, 1944, was done in Kong Skull Island exactly to a fucking T.
Oh, see, I didn't watch that,
Okay, yes,
so I
this
didn't know.
was straight up Kong Skull Island. Both enemy soldiers crash and meet up with each other on an island and then have to survive together because big monstrous beasties are around. And then it jumps to the future, like more in the future, still in the past for us. But yeah, it was Kong Skull Island to a fucking T. And I seen where a lot of this was going. Like it was very predictable storyline. So it's kind of where I gave it took away from it a bit, but I will say the gore effects were fucking awesome. I laughed quite a few times at like how ridiculously gory some of this
Mm-hmm.
stuff was.
Mm-hmm.
And the monster is fucking mean. You don't want to fuck with it.
Yeah, and it went through some shit, okay? I was on
Yeah.
the monster side.
Oh,
I
100%.
was like, yeah, fuck shit up. I love this movie. And I'm not a creature feature person. This
Right.
movie will probably be in my top 10. I enjoyed it that much. Yeah, I think we're I didn't know about the other story and I was here for it. I liked the characters. I bought into everybody. I felt sad when you were supposed to feel sad. I felt happy when you were supposed to feel happy. I think there was some unbelievabilities in this film.
Yes.
But I don't know, it's a fucking creature feature film, right? Like what the fuck do you expect?
Yeah. I
But
was going to say there's certain parts where you can just turn your brain off.
and I just want to say that I knew it was practical. And Scotty's
Yeah.
big dum dum
Well,
who
maybe
didn't.
my brain is just I'm becoming older and my brain is becoming less developed. That's my excuse.
That's you were just too busy doing the doilies for your wedding and trying to figure out the marching band schedule, which I understand because I didn't realize how fucking serious marching band was. Every year I think to myself, I'm like, no, it's not that bad. And then when Connor starts again, I'm like, oh Jesus Christ. Like it's
Yeah.
insane. But I
Yeah.
recommend this if you got the Shutter. I think that you
Yeah.
should. I think any horror fan should watch this. I do think you're not going to be bored. It's an 83-minute runtime. It's entertaining. I don't think you're going to walk out of it and give it 1 star. I
No.
don't. I think it's at least an entertaining watch.
Yes, I completely agree there. This is definitely worth checking out before the end of the year because I could see it being on people's top 10. It won't be on mine, I don't think. It could, but it will. It's still worth a watch. I was entertained with it.
Well, it doesn't really matter because it will be on mine.
Yes, exactly. It'll get brought up one way or the other.
That's the last time. That's the last hurrah. Now, do you have to step away and fight the attack
um,
of the killer tomatoes?
Not just yet. I got a few more minutes, so I'll
Okay,
talk about
well,
this next movie real quick
if
because
the
this one I don't
tomatoes get
think
too rowdy, you let me know.
I will. But I don't think you've seen this one yet, have you?
I have not. No.
Okay. So this one I was hearing kind of talks about through like websites, horror websites like Bloody Disgusting promoting it, but it's a found footage film called Project MK Hex. And I found this on Tubi. Subtitle is What We Fear, We Create.
Ooh.
Synopsis is Tim films his brother Sean's funeral after his suicide, then uncovers Sean's fixation with a non existent online urban legend about a failed government mind control experiment, and things kind of go crazy from there. Um,
Mm,
this is basically, yeah, the kind of where, how would I put this? It is a found footage film, documentary style, done really fucking well. Like the found footage rules, I didn't see any of them being broken. Like they knew what they were
nice.
doing. And for a 113-minute runtime, it went by really quick. Like I was glued to the screen this entire time because it is a mystery horror film for sure, like where you're just wanting to figure out what the fuck is going on. And the acting in this I thought was really well done. The main character you start really disliking, but it's because he is also kind of falling down that rabbit hole that his brother did. So it becomes a film
Okay.
about being addicted and obsessed about finding the answer to what's going on and where it takes precedence over everything else.
Okay.
And where it obviously ruins relationships and friendships and shit like that. And it starts, yeah, it's a tale about obsession and addiction and how dangerous it can be. And the reveal and everything else that's going on in this is a fucking phenomenal ride to me. Like, this may be in my top 10.
Sounds like a movie about podcasting.
Exactly.
Get addicted to it.
Yes.
But okay, if you think it's that good, I gotta watch it. I started it and I think I got away from it from some reason. So now I have to go back and finish it, and I'll do
Yeah.
that.
I see like it's a slow burn. Like it's definitely a
Okay.
slow burn. Like so you got to be right in the right mindset for it and kind
Okay.
of invested in the mystery.
I'm
Like
invested. If you're invested, I'm invested.
all right, good to know. And yeah, I see our good old sexy Matt Wood. He watched it and only
Mm.
he gave it 2 stars out of 5.
Okay.
He's like, I think fundamentally there is a decent movie here waiting to come out. It has a decent concept, acting's quite good, and I like the majority of the editing and special effects. However, it suffers from bad pacing. It's so slow and bogged down by boring info dumps that I couldn't care less about. Conspiracy aspect was cool, but fleshed that out. But then yeah, the rest is a little bit spoilery, but yeah. So yeah, like if you're expecting a quick found footage film, that is not what this is. This is a slow burn that I feel has a wonderful payoff with the unraveling of this mystery. It is all about the journey on this one more than like a quick found footage film.
Okay. And where is this found? It's Tubi, right?
Yep, this one is specifically on Tubi, Apple TV, Google, Amazon, and what is that other one? Oh, it's on Screambox Amazon channel.
Nice.
But yep, since it's on Tubi, I recommend checking it out there.
Fuck yeah.
It's
Fuck yeah.
definitely worth it. And I will step away for a few minutes, and I'll be right back.
How convenient with the next movie we're going to talk about. It's good. Go. And then you can
Oh,
come back and say why you hated it.
okay, I'll be right back.
So the movie we're going to talk about is 28 Years Later. For those of you who are aware, this is the long-awaited sequel to 28 Weeks Later and, of course, 28 Days Later. Filmed in beautiful Newcastle upon Tyne and the Angel of the North, which is technically in Gateshead, but they don't say that. But I know that because I've been there because I'm very well traveled and special. Um, and Berwick, I think, upon Tweed is where the village was filmed. Shout out to all my England folks. I know Mark is listening and Matt. Shout outs to UK. So anyway, we're back in the saddle again for 28 years later. This is brought to you by Mr. Danny Boyle, and you can tell that he has a whole lot more money this time around because he's basically made it in the same filming style he made 28 Days Later. This movie was weird. Basically, it gives the premise that the rest of the world has continued, but the UK, being Scotland and England, I don't think Ireland was touched because there's an ocean that you got to get across to get to Ireland, but they don't really talk about it. But anyway, UK, so Scotland, Wales, England, virus. So for 28 years, everyone's lived with this virus. They've kind of resorted back to pioneer like living in old modern houses. And we are following a community as they, hunt and gather resources, deal with sickness, deal with the world as it is. There's an outsider that comes in that informs us that the UK is the only spot that hasn't really moved forward. It's kind of just been isolated and forgot about by the rest of the world. I know that Scott was not a huge fan of this film. I will definitely say I enjoyed it more than he did, but I will give the bias that because I was familiar with a lot of the places that were filmed, as I said, the Angel of the North was in this, and I'd been to the Angel of the North. There's a whole dialogue about it, and I enjoyed that piece. And there were scenes that I felt were quite heart wrenching. Overall, I found that it really dragged, and I was unsure of the direction that was taken from the other two. I feel like you don't need to watch 28 Days Later to watch 28 Weeks Later to watch 28 Years Later. They really are their own separate entities in kind of like chapters into the zombie outbreak universe that is England and the UK. So overall, I thought it was enjoyable. I thought it was interesting. None of the characters annoyed me. I'm not sure if Scott's back yet, but I know he was annoyed with a lot of the decisions that the characters made in this. I
You must
didn't.
be talking about me.
Ah, you're back. I know that you were annoyed with a lot of the decisions that were made by a lot of the characters
Oh,
in
there
this
was a
film.
lot about this movie I was annoyed about.
But in defense, they've been locked in a time capsule. They don't know the same things you and I know, right? Like they've been isolated in their little English world, and this is now new generations that are being born or that were so young when the outbreak happened. They don't remember life beforehand.
Oh, I get that. Yeah, I get
You're
that part,
like,
but
but.
exactly. But there is a decision that, one of the main characters is sick. I'll give it that.
Hmm.
And there is a decision that is made by someone they find later on where instead of, hey, let's think about this decision for a minute, let's talk about things, it's just, nope, we're going to go do this. And the main character is just kind of forced into that situation. I'm sitting there going, okay, in that scenario, maybe take the rest of the evening before doing that
Yeah, I get what you're saying.
and, have some time. I'm trying to do it as spoiler free as I possibly can.
Yeah, yeah,
And
it's very I just don't understand, like none of the movies really follow each other.
yeah, like
Like
I
they
was
don't build on
expecting,
each other.
yeah, like I was, because I never watched 28 weeks later
Hmm.
until earlier this year, and I fucking loved it. I thought it was great.
Yeah,
Like, but yeah, it really didn't have anything to do much with the first film besides, this is where the plague has
yeah.
gone on. It's been isolated. We've stopped it, and then shit happens again. And again, this one, there's also that part you hear in the trailer where it's like a marching like army clip from like World
Mhm.
War II, and it just goes on and on.
Oh, the
And
song. Marching
yeah,
up again and down and marching
oh
up
my
again.
God, that was. I'm sitting here going, okay, I fucking get it. You can stop any time now.
All
This has gone
right.
on for 5 minutes.
I'm gonna say it, and all the British folks, which is just Matt and Mark that listen to this podcast, or maybe Kate occasionally. It's so British, that song. Like it
Yeah.
is so
Oh, I could tell.
annoyingly like British being like, oh.
Yeah, I could totally get it. I could see that. And
Oh,
and then let me just I God damn it. The fucking ending. The goddamn ending
I
of this fucking
know,
movie.
I know. It kind of became like Kill Bill.
It was Teletubby meet Ninja Warrior meet Bleach Blonde
Well, in all fairness, they did
church
open with
cult.
Teletubby.
I mean,
Well,
they
there was
did.
definitely a call, which I thought was, and maybe I don't understand the context, but if there was a reference who I think they referenced
It
at the
was.
end of this,
Luffy
I think that
confirmed
was
it.
in pretty poor case, poor taste.
Yeah, Luffy confirmed it when they talked
Yeah,
about it on the show, and yeah, it's exactly what you were saying. And I'm like,
yeah,
yeah, and
yeah.
I'm just like, why? Why are they doing this? And
Well, and that person's not a good human.
yeah,
Like, not
yeah, like when I
especially
read into it
coming
after you,
across a young boy.
yeah, when I read what you shared with me, I'm just like, why would they go this route?
I don't know what Danny Boyle was thinking. All I before when you stepped away, I just said this was basically Danny Boyle having more money and filming it very similar to 28 Days Later, only like fucking on steroids.
Yeah,
Like it was just it was like And I did enjoy it. Like, I will make it clear, I did think it was too long,
Yeah.
but I think because I had been to a lot of the places it was filmed, like I had literally been to Angel of the North. That's a true thing.
Right.
So I was like, I honestly, if I hadn't gone to England, I don't, and hadn't seen those actual locations, I don't think I would have liked it as much, as I'm really honest.
Yeah,
Um,
this is
I feel like this was made for folks in the UK. Like he was like, fuck everyone else.
yeah, I was
Everyone
gonna
in the
say,
UK is gonna like this. You know what I mean?
yeah, because I will have to say this is probably my disappointment of the year.
Yeah, I don't yeah. I definitely had higher expectations than were delivered, but I will say that it was interesting.
And I'm gonna go to her Facebook right now, but I'm gonna go find my fiance's mini review of this.
Oh, what did she think?
Oh, she thinks the same thing as me, but I just love the way she worded it.
Okay.
Let me see. I'm scrolling down. There's been a lot that she's posted, and this was a while ago. Sorry.
Marching down the hill again, marching, marching, marching in the feet again, marching,
Kill me with that fucking song.
and I'm like, oh, I get it. There's like about battle, and then I'm like, well, yeah, I guess they kind of battled, but like, I don't know
Yeah.
how really battled.
Okay. This is her short summary or her
Okay,
short review.
okay.
Just watch 28 years later. We waited all this time for this movie, and you give us bleached, satanic, Teletubby ninja warriors? What the flying fuck?
Look, you know what? Danny Boyle was doing a lot of coke by the end of
Yeah,
like a lot, like a lot.
he had to have been.
I guess the nose is just white. Anyway, so 28 years later, interesting, diversive film. I would say if you're a horror fan, you got to watch it. Like I
You
do
do.
believe you got to see it. It if anything, it is filmed. There's some beautiful shots in it.
Yeah, it's
The
filmed
act
really well.
and the acting's good. Like
Yeah,
I bought into the main characters and I
it's the
cared what
story.
happened. It's the story that's just wonky and weird and like I don't know how they got Ralph Fiennes to be in this movie. I hate him. They were
Yeah,
like like they were like, all right, how much are you willing to take? And it kind of explains why is it Cinder Hines
I
who was
think.
in the first one?
Yeah,
Maybe it's not Hines. I think I'm getting his Cecil. Cecil. Oh
like
my
the actor's
gosh.
name or the character.
The actor.
Um,
Why can't I
Damn it.
remember his name? Here it is. Cecilian Murphy, not
Yeah,
Cinder Hines. That's somebody
yeah,
fucking else.
Cillian Murphy. Yeah.
I can see why he didn't come back. I can see why he
Well,
was like hard pass.
and it sounds like he's rumored to be back in the next one or the one after or something.
Oh
Because
Jesus.
I know there's supposed to be a trilogy.
Oh no.
Yeah, and they're
Oh
like, I guess
man.
it's already been all of it's been filmed because the next one, the Bone Temple, is coming out around next year, like right
Oh well,
around
we
like
won't be podcasting by then. So.
yeah, I was gonna say it's either Christmas this year or January next year, but I know it's
Oh,
like coming out really soon.
what a Christmas gift. More
Yeah.
28 years later. What are they going to do? It's like 28 and a half.
Yeah, no, it's called 28 Years Later, the Bone Temple. That's what they're calling it.
Oh, they should call it 28.5 years later.
Yes. uh,
Fuck me. All right. Well, anyway, it's available if you want to watch it. You can find it on all the streaming services. Um,
yes.
like Apple, Google, Amazon, Cineplex in Canada. I would say rent it or watch it. I do think it deserves a watch.
Yes.
Danny
It's
Boyle
worth
is a great director, no matter how you dice it. He's interesting. He's interesting.
exactly. And yeah, no, speaking of another movie that kind of came back out of the blue, I just watched this on the weekend, this past weekend. The I Know What You Did Last Summer, what I thought was kind of a remake, but apparently not, is a Legacy sequel, kind of along the lines of Scream 5, 6, 7 area.
Yep.
It's got a 111-minute runtime. The subtitle is You Get the Ending You Deserve. And the synopsis is when five friends inadvertently cause a deadly car accident, they cover up their involvement and make a pact to keep it a secret rather than face the consequences. A year later, their past comes back to haunt them and they're forced to confront a horrifying truth. Someone knows what they did last summer, and it is hell bent on revenge. So you've seen the first movie, right?
Uh, fuck yeah.
Well, then you've seen this fucking movie. It is It is the exact same, except for with characters that were written by writers who I'm guessing are our age, trying to make the characters sound Gen Z, because the Gen Z lingo in this was so god awful and even made my boys, because they came out with some of the when some of the lines are being said and they're going, oh, this sounds like an old man trying to sound hip to kids. What the fuck?
So I have a hot take on that. I think it was done purposely.
Oh, I think so too.
So what I did was I watched this and the next day I watched the original. And let's just say you need to do that.
Oh, gotcha.
Right. So I think what the tongue in cheek, not that I'm saying it was good, by the way, but I'm saying what the tongue in cheek thing was that they remade the characters, but like the super, like superficial, stupid version of them in Gen Z. So I'll give an example. Ryan Felipe was kind of the party boy. If you watch the
Yep.
first one, like which I did, and then you watch this guy who's playing like the rich boy,
Yep.
there's a lot of similarities to
Oh,
what happens,
I was even telling
right?
Eric, I'm like, oh, there's Ryan Felipe.
Even
Oh, there's
like
Sarah and Michelle Gellar.
the dialogue's kind of similar. There's a part at a party that is very similar in
Okay,
conversation, right? So I think that it was I agree. I think it was mentioned by people our age and it was like giving how like that back in the day was so over the top our generation because when you watch it you realize how over the top this
oh yeah.
like when they're watching Sarah Michelle Gellar at the whatever the beauty pageant they're like oh yeah all the tits here and Jennifer Love who is like oh my god can you guys like turn down like the I forget if she said not like misogyny but like sexism I can barely take it like it's so like I'm like oh my god this is bad right. So I feel like they
Okay.
were kind of just trying to do tongue-in-cheek humor with the dialogue. I agree the dialogue was horrible, but I was laughing. I'm not gonna lie. There were parts in the film where I thought it was really funny.
Yeah.
like
I mean, I was laughing for all the wrong reasons, I think. But like, yeah, the one part that really got me with the dialogue was the podcaster,
oh
and
my god.
she was talking while walking through the park, and she said something about, "Oh, this is so Gucci." I'm going, "Oh my fucking God, you did not just use that fucking
I
word at
love
your
it.
age."
That was so funny. Like it was just honestly I it was I think they played it more for laughs than I was planning on them doing. But I did have a good enough time with it. And I'll say
Yeah.
that. I liked how they pulled in the characters from the original. I forgot of how horrible of an actor Freddie Prinze Jr. is.
Though I
He's
will say it was nice seeing him, but yes.
yes. Um, it was entertaining. Like it was popcorn, bubblegum. I will say I wasn't overly disappointed. I was entertained.
I
And when
went,
I
yeah,
sorry.
I'll let you go first. Sorry.
No, when I went back, I was more disappointed until I watched the original the next day and I went, "Right. Okay. I get this a little bit more now what they were doing." Like it even starts off the same.
Yes.
Like
Oh,
the
100%.
same, you know what I mean? So like I was like, okay, this is a little bit of and I'm with it by the way if there's a sequel. I'm here for it.
I'll watch it because like even I went into this one just going, all right, I was never a huge fan of I Know What You Did Last Summer. It has a soft spot for me because it was my generation and I did watch it a
Yeah.
lot when I was younger, but I know it's not a good movie, so I was like, I don't expect a lot coming going into this, and I came out with about my expectations where they were when I
Yeah.
went in. Like, yeah, it was what I expected. Wasn't horrible. It was cool to see Sarah Michelle Gellar, Freddie Prince Jr., and Jennifer Love Hewitt come back. And I gotta say, like all of them, I have to say, aged like fine wine. They all look
Yeah.
great, like
They all
amazingly.
looked great. And I really found some of the lines that the main character said funny. There was some shit they said that I was like, that's funny. Like, that's
Yeah, like
funny. Like,
but
that's
yeah,
funny.
I was literally pointing out to Eric. I'm like, yep, there's Ryan Felipe, there's Sarah Michelle Gellar,
Yeah.
there's Freddie Prince Jr.'s character. Like all the new characters are literally just representations of the original characters. And though I will say, if you pay attention enough, you'll be able to figure out who the killers are.
Yeah, it's pretty easy to put that together early on, but I I will say, it did something for me to want to go home and watch the original, right?
Oh,
So
that's right, because you went to the theater to see this.
I went to the theater, and the next day I watched the original at home. And there was a fair amount of people in there in the theater, and we were laughing at parts that were funny, like that were parts where like some characters said some lines that were like, "Well, that's a fucking bad idea." Like there was just some stuff where I'm like, "Yeah, you would have said that in 1996," but now
Right.
you're like, "No, I'm not going to go do that. That sounds stupid." Right? Like it was just some shit was funny. But again, I think know your expectations, as Scott and I are saying. Like this is a reimagining, a legacy trilogy, or whatever you want to call it, and it is a little bit making fun of the original with the characters and some of the dialogue. But if you're interested, it's available on all the rental services. I would say if you liked the first one and you like this kind, you know what you're going into here, rent it. If it's not your jam, then don't.
Yeah, pretty much. Like, I
Right.
think I gave this a 6.5 out of 10.
Yeah, I probably would be around the same, Scott. Like I nostalgic, fun times, a 9 for me because I
Yeah.
had a fun time. Realistic, 6.5.
Yeah.
Right. Right. So now this one that you watched, I don't did you tell me about this?
Yes, I did, and
Okay.
you sounded intrigued, but I don't know if you ever were able to find it
Clearly
or
not.
yeah, this one we watched like think back in the beginning of August, maybe Erica and I. But this
Okay.
one is called The Death of Snow White. It's a 110-minute runtime. Subtitle was This Was Never a Children's Story. Pursued by her stepmother for eternal beauty, Snow White flees into a terrifying forest and aligns with seven bloodthirsty dwarves, cold-blooded assassins with a knack for brutal killings. Her spirit is tested in this grim fairy tale. It is straight up the Sleeping Beauty storyline, but with a lot more violence and gore, and it's definitely more like horror based. The dwarves in this are fucking awesome and some of my favorite
Nice.
characters of the year.
Oh fuck yeah.
They are hilarious, they are brutal, they are efficient. Tim Davis, just because I know you love watching movies with little people, because you get excited about whenever they're on screen. I highly recommend you watch this. Death of Snow White. You'll fucking love it. You'll love these characters. How sad is it that a low budget indie horror company can make this film about Snow White and do a better job than fucking Disney?
It says something.
Yeah, like here's an idea. Hire little people to play the dwarves like you would a live action movie, like this company did. Why would you steal parts from them and make
Whoa.
them CGI? Disney, what the fuck? Anyways, but yes, we Eric and I were both just joking, going, "Wow, this is way better than Disney could have ever handled it." It's the horror movie version.
I love that. That's
Yeah,
great. Fuck you, Disney.
these actors and everybody else knew the assignment and they fucking aced it.
And you
They
know what?
went with it.
That's what matters. That's what matters.
Yeah, this was a fun fucking movie. It is a period piece because obviously Snow White. So I'll give you a heads up because I know you're not usually a big fan of
Yeah.
period pieces. But yeah, it is straight up the Snow White fairy tale, but kind of told a slightly changed perspective of things, but fucking awesome. It was so much fun.
Okay. Where can you watch it?
This one is available on your typical people, Apple TV, Google Play, Amazon, Fandango, and YouTube. Oh yeah, and our good old friend Dave Bailey gave it 4 out of 5. Um,
Ooh.
Sexy Matt Wood gave it 2.5.
Uh, okay. And you
But
know why? Was it British?
I think it was. But
Oh, that's why.
I
He was
love
just
his
like
response.
fucking Brits.
So his mini review. So I guess Snow White is now public domain. Let's go make a horror movie. He's like, for me, this was too long. The story dragged on a bit. The acting was okay, as were the special effects. The gore was good when it happens, but overall, I was bored most of the way through it, which is fair. I was here. I was fucking here for it the whole fucking time.
Hey, you know what? Not everyone likes the same thing.
Exactly. And this, I knew this would be more up your alley because, we are all about all these movies coming out of copyright and being jumped on
I
by
do
these
love
horror
them
movies. So
a
I knew
lot.
this is like this is right up your my alley.
I'm a little sad that the Popeye movies have slowed down now, but
Yeah, don't worry. Something else will come out of public domain, and there's gonna be a million movies made.
I'm excited for that. This is what a time to be alive.
Exactly.
Well, this next film is my number
Uh,
one of the year. It was so inspirational. So I watched this movie and I could barely sleep that night. I don't know if anyone knows this, but I work for a university and we have a faculty of science there where we do research and I couldn't sleep. Tossed and turned all night. And the next day I woke up and I didn't even drive. I ran to work because I was so excited. I busted in to the science building and I ran up to one of the research labs and I went in and I said, have you watched Jurassic World Rebirth? And they were like, can we help you? I'm like, dinosaur blood can cure heart disease. How are we not on this as an institution?
my God, I was trying to hold it in this whole time while you were doing this story because it reminded me of like Amazon, the funny Amazon reviews of products, and you were fucking nailing it with the tone. Oh my God, I'm in fucking tears over
I
here.
it's movie. Please stop. I quit. Okay, first off, I am a Jurassic Park World fan. I have seen all of them. I have gone to the theaters for every single one but this one. And thank Christ I didn't. Because this movie was so fucking stupid that even the dinosaurs looked low budget. Like even and I'm gonna give spoilers here, and I don't give a fuck because this movie is so bad. To start off with, so dinosaurs have overtaken the world, but they're dying on the random streets everywhere. Like our opening scene is this guy in New York City driving by a dying brontosaurus or whatever the fuck it is.
Oh,
You know
for
what I'm
fuck's
talking about,
sakes.
right? Have you seen
I
it?
No, I did not watch this.
Oh,
Erica started it without me one night, and I was like, I'm kind of glad.
yeah.
And then you and I talked about it, then she was telling me about it, so I'm just like, I know the whole story just from the
Oh,
YouTube, and I'm like,
okay.
that's all I need.
Okay, so that's why you're okay. Anyway, so this is how it fucking begins, Scott. Okay, but how they convince so that's Scarlett Johansson's character who delivered her lines like she was a robot, and this is how she delivered it the entire. I'm like, what the fuck is happening? So how they get this guy who's a paleontologist to join? They're like, have you ever seen a dinosaur? Bitch, there's a dinosaur dying out on the street. Of course, he's seen a fucking dinosaur. It's dying beside one of the bridges in New York City.
Oh
And they're
my
like,
God.
but one that's not dying, that's alive and thriving. I'm like, what the fucking difference does it make? Everyone seems to not give a shit about dinosaurs anymore. Anyway,
And
so the whole.
also, the
Sorry, go ahead.
dinosaurs are in the world with humans. I'm sure he's come across them at this
But
point.
they're dying now, Scott. It's not the same.
Uh,
And why can't you get blood from those dinosaurs to fix heart disease is beyond me. I guess because they're dying, their blood isn't good enough. You have to go to this small place near the equator where the dinosaurs are alive and well. But unfortunately, this was also the island where they did the mutations. And they did mixy breedies, which I'm pretty sure they did at the other islands, which is how you had the other three fucking movies. But I digress. So anyway, the whole purpose of this film is these people are going to collect blood from these dinosaurs, not the one that's just dying outside their building in New York City. They have to go to this island to collect blood from a dinosaur that swims, a dinosaur that walks, and a dinosaur that flies. And somehow it's gonna cure fucking heart disease. I don't know who wrote this film. I don't know who thought this was a good idea, but it was so fucking dumb. And then, like, of course, like it's the mutated like brontosauruses, and the CGI was painful. Like, this is where the 1993 version, which was practical, looked extremely better. Like, I'm talking, like, I can't even go on how much better the original is. Like, if you took the original and this piece of shit and you showed it to like a 5-year-old, they'd be like, can we watch the 1993 version again? They would probably think that that's more modern than this fucking film.
that's fucking sad.
Anyway, it's still in theaters and making money, and I'm sorry if anyone's gone and liked this and enjoyed it. As I said, I finished it because, well, I do like me some dinosaurs, and I was really hoping they were gonna kill more folks, which they did, so I was happy with that.
And
but I couldn't. Sorry.
I was gonna say, and I looked back at our conversation from when we were watching this August 6th, and I
Mm.
found what my theory for one of the future movies that I gave you the synopsis for. So I wrote to you, I'm just waiting for the dinosaur human hybrid mutant. I can't wait. I can see it now. It'll be called Jurassic World Evolution, and the tagline will be, they thought they were making the ultimate weapon, but what they got was the ultimate killing machine. And it'll be like Terminator style.
Okay, we got to stop the presses right here. Something is wrong with Tim Davis.
Oh, he
This was
loved it.
his review. What the fuck is wrong with him? Tim, we finally get a decent sequel? Are you on drugs? Like, how much drugs are you consuming in
Oh.
Australia? Like, how is this a decent sequel? Oh my god. But you know what? Great looking VF. What the fuck's visual effects? What movie did you. Did Australia get a different version of this movie? Did it? Was there like the Aussie version and they just yell cunt the whole time at the dinosaurs
And
and
they're punching
stuff?
all the dinosaurs.
Or the dinosaurs, like, instead of roar, just like, "Caw!"
Hey,
like
oi,
running.
oi.
That's like the raptors. Oi,
Yeah.
oi, 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 oi. Anyway, I'm glad you enjoyed it, Tim. I did finish it, so it says something there. But it's so silly. If you're like Tim Davis and you choose joy and apparently think that there was an amazing visual special effects in this film, then yes, I encourage you to watch it. Um, it was not for me. It was not for me. Or Erica.
Yeah, Erica was just like, hey, she's like, you're glad you missed this one. I'm like, okay, good.
But it must be doing something right, man. It's still Rob gave it 4 stars too. What the fuck is happening? You know what? Maybe this is time for us to get out, Scotty.
Right? I think the world is crumbling around us.
We obviously don't understand how this movie is going to solve heart disease, and it's going to solve all the evil pharmaceutical companies. We can give it to the world, and the whole world can be cured of heart disease.
Yeah.
Anyway.
And I just can't wait for, them to keep mutating these dinos to the point that they literally just make another human being. It's going to come back to that
It's
at some point.
I will give credit where credit is due. As I said, I watched the whole thing. I didn't shut it off. So what does that say? It managed to keep my attention that I cared about what happened. I just think it was a silly plot line and kind of painted together. And I'm not quite sure how it follows with the other Jurassic World films. But fuck, who knows? Maybe it doesn't have to. That's why it's called
Well,
Rebirth, and it's just starting a new saga.
right now I was going to say, and well, I'll give it 6 out of 10. Give it a 6 out of 10, even though I haven't watched it, just for the fact that they don't have Chris Pratt.
You know what? Honestly, that is a selling feature.
Because
So,
fuck him.
right? So now we're going to talk about a much better film, in my opinion.
Fuck yeah. Yeah, we are.
I'll let you bring it in.
All right. So, you know how we were talking about those movies that were in copyright that we, just get put to the public domain and horror movie directors grab them and say, fuck yeah. Well, and how Heather and I are here for it?
Mm-hmm.
Well, we're here for this one. This is the next story in the Pooniverse or the Twisted Children's Tales, wherever it's called, with Winnie the Pooh and Peter Pan, and that is Bambi the Reckoning. The tagline for this is Welcome to his stomping grounds. After a mother and son get in a car wreck, they soon become hunted by Bambi, a mutated, grief stricken deer on a deadly rampage seeking revenge for the death of his mother and wife. And yeah, this is you're probably wondering, well, how are they going to make Bambi kind of scary and horror movie-ish? Well, this Bambi is goddamn terrifying and awesome looking. It's got
But
razor.
was it Bambi or was it Bambi's dad?
I think it was Bambi
Oh, okay. Because I thought it was
because Erica
Bambi's
and I were wondering
dad.
too. Like,
And
'cause we were
then
wondering
Bambi
if it was
was
like a
another character.
yeah, we were thinking it might have been a prequel for Bambi at first, but I don't think it is.
Well, we'll find out.
Yeah, like but yet this deer is fucking gnarly looking. It is huge. It is pissed off. It has razor sharp teeth. It's got some very sharp antlers. It fucks people up left and right. Some amazing gore. The acting seems to be getting better in these movies as they progress,
Yeah,
and the
yeah,
budget keeps
yeah.
getting more and more. This was fucking fun as hell. I had a blast with this movie. Like this is a solid 8 out of 10 for me. Like one that I will
Oh,
happily rewatch.
I agree. And it's so funny because Rob's like, I gave it 3 stars because Jurassic World Rebirth is so much better.
Yeah.
I'm just kidding, Rob. You're
I'm not.
allowed to have your opinions. You're still podcasting where we're leaving the game. So this is just us burning all our bridges. Or
It's
me burning
true.
all our bridges. Me burning them. Because Scott didn't even watch this movie, Jurassic World. He thought it was so shitty. It's like, I'm not even gonna waste my time. Bambi the
Y-
Reckoning though? Fuck yeah.
Fuck yeah. Even Connor came out and was like, "Why do you do this to yourself when you watch these movies?" Like, he's like, "Winnie the Pooh, Blood and Honey is not a good movie." And I'm like, Connor,
Oh,
you are so wrong on so many levels. Winnie the Pooh, Blood and
child.
Honey is amazing, and I will not hear you disrespect the Pooniverse.
Unacceptable, like it's this we're talking quality films here. And I don't know, I really like the Bambi Reckoning. I thought it was fucking great. I thought the special effects were done well for their budget. I thought they were done better than Jurassic World. I can't get past that. I can't get past Rob and Tim. Am I in the
and
same universe? Like I
and
don't.
Luffy too. Luffy enjoyed the shit out
What?
of it. Yeah.
All right. As I said, I did finish it, so what does that say? But yeah, I don't know. I do think there's other films that have been much better and other Jurassic World or Park films that were much better. But that we're not talking about Jurassic World. We're still back to Bambi. Heather, get over Jurassic World. Anyway, this and like the humans in this really take a back seat. They're just window dressing, by the way.
Yes.
It's the deer. No one cares about the people. It's the fucking deer that we care about in
100%.
this film. It's only available on Amazon US to rent. We watched it through Good Friends Plex and definitely 100% encourage it.
Yes. I would say from the two Pooniverse movies that have come out this year, Peter Pan and Bambi, I still think I like Peter Pan more, but Bambi is right there behind it. It's like
Whoa,
they
there
are
has been
almost,
way more than that. There has been many Popeye films. Oh, they're not part of it, are
yeah, I'll
they?
say no, the Popeye films and the Steamboat Willie films are not part of Pooniverse.
Okay.
So it's just Peter Pan and Bambi so far that have come out for Pooniverse.
That's why they're probably better.
Yeah. Well, it's because the director behind all of these and the person that's been writing out this idea and stories, he after the first Winnie the Pooh Blood and Honey, he actually created this universe and actually had a plan written out about how he's gonna progress these stories. Like I was reading about that and I'm like, this dude, bravo, fucking bravo to do that.
I agree with you. I agree.
Like where the other ones are just jumping in to cash in on the public domain. He obviously did it first, but the success of Winnie the Pooh made him like sit down and like plan this shit, which is amazing.
Yeah, and it's definitely puts effort into his story writing, right? Where
Yeah,
yeah, absolutely. Well, I'm really glad. So as we said, we can find you can find this on Amazon US, and it probably will be available other places as time goes. Scott watched this next one, and then he told me not to because he knows what I would have watched it for, and I would have been really upset.
exact. Because I watched it for that exact same reason too, and was really upset. So this movie is called The Dogs, a 97-minute runtime. After fleeing his psychotic father, a young teen and his mom seek refuge in a remote farmhouse, only to face a pack of ferocious dogs and the sinister spirits that haunt the property. Yeah, that is straight up like fucking false advertising for this fucking movie. I'm sitting here going, I'm here for some killer dog action. I want to see some goddamn puppers because they're so fucking cute and I am here for it. You get them maybe a total of 2 minutes, and it is basically a metaphor for something else that
Oh,
is the
fuck sakes.
main catalyst for this movie. And it just was a bore and nothing good came from it that I could care about. I I don't even remember anything else about this movie except for the fact that I was pissed off that it was not about puppers.
Ugh. So 10 out of 10 don't watch.
Yeah, zero out of 10. Do not recommend. Bullshit. I'll see what I gave it. I gave it. Oh, I do not like how the new letterbox is set
Oh,
up,
it's confusing, yeah.
so I can't even click on to see my review.
I know. I don't like the new letterbox either. I find it quite confusing.
But yeah, I think I gave it a. Sorry guys, I think I gave it a 5 out of 5, or not 5 out of 10. So 2.5 out of 5.
Where can people find it in case they decide they like metaphors?
You can find it on Apple TV, Google Play, Amazon, Fandango, and YouTube.
Ugh. Or not.
Yeah, just don't.
Or you could just not watch this movie.
Yeah.
Have you seen this one with
No,
Dave Franco and Allison Brie, who are, by the way, really married
Yep,
in real
nope.
life?
I started this. We got 2 minutes in where you see the puppies, the puppers,
Oh,
and then we had to pause it because interruptions from the children are spawn, and then
mm,
it was time for bed by the time they stopped interrupting. So we just gave up and have not gone back to it yet. But this is high on my list to watch soon.
you will like this movie a lot.
I
You will really like this movie.
I think I will because I know it's like a relationship based in a way
And
too.
body horror.
Yes.
So this movie is called Together. Allison Brie and Dave Franco star in this film. With a move to the countryside already testing the limits of the couple's relationship, a supernatural encounter begins an extreme transformation of their love, their lives, and their flesh. This movie is very well made. And it's, this is I think the second time. I think Dave Franco directed this, much like he directed, oh no, he did not. He was a producer of this one, and so was Allison Brie. So my understanding is they like to make movies together, and this was like a joint project that they were both involved in. Yeah, it's definitely worth watching. It is 102 minutes. It could have been a little shorter, not gonna lie. It was a little long in the tooth at times, but the slow burn does pay off. If you like slow burn mixed with body horror, this will be a film for you. And it will be on people's top 10, if not top 5 lists this year, possibly number 1
Ooh,
for
hell
some
yeah.
folks. Yeah. Like it's just a solid film. Like I feel like there's a list of solid films out there that we all know and love. The Rule of Jenny Penn. What's some other ones that came out this year that really stand out? That's really good. The one
Final
that you liked,
Destination,
Final Destination, The
Bring Her
Gorge.
Back.
I Bring Her Back. Those are ones when I think about like hard hitters of this year. Sinners for some
Oh yeah,
folks.
Sinners. Yep, absolutely.
Yeah. And this will definitely be one of them as well. I think Weapons as well. I've been hearing really good things about
Yes,
Weapons.
and thankfully I just heard it's coming to VOD next week.
Yes, that will be, I'm looking forward to seeing that. Another one that I thought was really good on here, by the way, was Until Dawn. I actually really enjoyed
Yes,
Until
I
Dawn.
had a blast with Until Dawn.
Yeah. So there was definitely some highlights of this year. Companion is another one too.
Yep.
So
The Gorge was another one for me.
yeah, yeah, The Gorge you really like. Like there's some solid movies that I think even if they're not in your top 10, they are like you got to appreciate them, right? And this definitely is one of them. So if you haven't watched this yet, it is available to rent on Apple, Amazon, Cineplex, Fandango, and it's worth whatever you pay. Like if you like horror movies, this is worth watching. That's bottom line. You like horror movies, this is worth watching.
Hell yes, I am. I will be watching this as soon as I can, as soon as we can get some quiet time.
Which will be never.
It sure feels like it some days.
So the last one is, I don't think you saw this yet. It's on Shutter. The Twin.
No, not yet.
Okay. This is a movie about grief.
Oh,
About grief.
that seems to be this year's theme.
When death is night upon its clutch, a fellow soon shall see his fletch.
What?
After a tragic, it's a tagline. After a tragic loss of his son, a man begins experiencing terrifying visions of a shadowy figure that looks like himself. As the reality unravels, he must confront his past and supernatural forces haunting him before it consumes him completely. Tim Davis, do not watch this film. I know you think from reading this that maybe it's for you, or maybe you don't. I don't know. I don't know you anymore. You also love Jurassic World Rebirth, but um, it's about a father and a loss, and it starts off real strong and then it drags the fuck out. Like drags the fuck out. So I do not recommend it. Scott, I'll be honest, I don't recommend it to you either. I think there's a good movie here, but I think the 103-minute time hurt this film. If it
Okay.
had been 80 minutes, which is what it probably should have been, it could have hit the mark a lot quicker. It was a very typical jump scare film, but the message, the acting, the characters, if you just shorten it up a little bit, would have been a lot more effective.
Gotcha. Okay.
Yeah. I actually read a review where it's like this should have been a short, and I agree. I think it
Hmm.
would have been a lot more like a 20-minute, like a part of an anthology. I think it would have been really solid, but they just
Okay.
dragged it out too much. Some things like the swimming pool movies,
Oh
whatever the
God.
fuck that was called. Was
Yeah.
it called the swimming
Oh,
pool?
yeah. The Blumhouse one, Night
Yeah,
Swim.
Night Swim. Like how that should have just been a short. This should have
Yeah.
just been a short. That's the best way to describe it.
Yeah. You're not wrong. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Avoiding
Yeah.
that one.
Like good topic, but drags out. If for some reason grief is your thing and you're into really, really long, drawn out emotional films, this is available on the Shutter for
All
anyone
right.
who's
Yeah.
interested.
I will just kind of avoid this one then.
Yeah, don't bother. You're too busy. Um, for older watches, I finally watched The Prowler in 1981. And in Fabric, by the way, as well, from 2019. But yeah, I finally watched The Prowler. You know, I never seen it
Yeah.
ever. I
I
part of
remember.
10. Yeah.
I think I remember you saying you were getting ready to watch it. And I was kind of
Yeah.
curious to see what you thought.
Yeah, like I watched it a while ago now, so it's kind of hard to say, but I thought it was pretty entertaining for a slasher. Like I didn't mind the kind of the plot developing up to it and the reasoning why people are doing what they're doing, but I enjoyed it enough,
I was
but
like,
it doesn't stick out in my memory at all.
yeah, because I watched it a long time ago, and I remember it definitely dragged for a slasher, or it
Yeah.
felt like it dragged.
Yeah, I think that's a fair statement, but I'm glad that I finally saw it cuz it's an old school one and
Yeah.
one tries to watch the ones from the 80s. Other cool things, I did a ghost walk in Toronto with Haunted Walks. It was the original ghost walk tour. I had these tickets for like 2 years and finally booked it. I brought my mom. It was well done. We went to a couple of the haunted locations, like a church and like a hotel and behind a theater. And the tour guide did a pretty good job for it being in downtown Toronto on a summer night. Like, I was expecting it to be a lot more challenging for him to be able to be heard and talk, but they chose locations that were kind of off the beaten path,
Okay.
which kind of but still near downtown. It's weird how you can turn onto like you'll be on one street and it's super busy, and then you can turn onto another street and there's nobody there. Like it's
Right.
fascinating how big cities work like that, right?
Yeah.
But yeah, this was like nothing overly stands out besides the fact that it was mixed with history and folklore. Like it has that kind of over top of they never found the body and people have heard the ghost screams, and but at least the history part was accurate and I thought that was fun. So I recommend them. Haunted Walks. They have tours all through Toronto, Ottawa, Kingston. If for some reason you're coming up here for tourism and you're a horror fan, any of their haunted walks are great. I've done a couple of them so far. I did the boat tour a couple years ago, the
Was this the
brewery
same
one.
company that we went on the ghost tours with?
No, different.
Okay.
Different. That one was Hamilton. This one, so I feel like they try not to step on each other's toes, so they just do Hamilton area, and this one
Gotcha.
does Toronto. Like I feel like they try to keep the peace a bit. But yeah, no, it was fun. I had a good time doing it, and it's always fun to do stuff like that. I
Yeah.
might do their follow-up one, which is at like an old pioneer village, and see what happens on that historical ghost telling tour.
Yeah, I think we're gonna try doing some ghost tours when we go to New Orleans next year.
That will be fun.
Yeah,
That will
because it's
be
gonna
really
be around
fun.
Halloween too, so it'll be perfect.
Some interesting history there.
Yeah, that's one reason I wanted to
New
go. I love the
Orleans.
history. New Orleans, and I
Nolans.
mean the food. Can't wait to
Oh
try the
man.
fucking food.
Yeah,
Give me
just
some true
just
Creole and some gumbo,
you should
jambalaya.
watch the bar rescues because John Taffer did a bunch of bar rescues there.
Mm.
Tons. There's a
Oh,
whole bunch of them in New Orleans. So like you should definitely check it out.
I will
It's
have
a
to because
party
yeah,
place.
we watched a bunch of like touristy YouTube video walking tours of there. Yeah, I am fucking pumped.
That's the best way to do it. Tour, like, I love being able to watch like tours videos on YouTube and know what things are and like find out if I'll like it or if it's worth it. I find it really
Right.
useful actually.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, same.
Yeah.
Like, and they'll show you like the typical touristy stuff. Then they'll show you some off the beaten path stuff.
Yeah.
It's very
Yeah.
helpful to like kind of plan things out.
Agreed. Agreed.
But yeah, since I'll speak about one thing. I haven't finished this yet, but also horror related that I put on the Google Sheets. I'm about quarter of the way through the book, but I started the End of the World as We Know It, which is a 800-page short story compilation of multiple indie and starting to become well-known authors writing stories in the world of Stephen King's The Stand.
Nice.
This has been a compilation, like the stories are anywhere between 15 to like 35 pages long each story. And yeah, they start off with a collection of stories based when Captain Trips, the super flu, first hits and starts killing everybody off. So they got a bunch of stories in that segment. Then they
Mm-hmm.
got a bunch of stories where they start going on their travels to either the Dark Man or Mother
The Dark
Abigail,
Man. I
or
like it.
sorry, Randall Flagger. Sorry, Dark
Yeah,
Man
yeah,
is
yeah. I know what you're
like
talking about, though. You're talking about the Stand, right?
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. So yeah, but yeah, because I get into confused because they call him the Man in Black in
Oh,
the
okay.
Dark Tower series.
Right,
That
right,
I'm
right.
reading that too. But yeah, and then they do like the story of them traveling to their destinations and stories of people during when they're at those destinations, and then they do stories with things that happen after the events of the stand happen. And yeah, I'm on page 200 something out of 800. And so far, I think there was only one out of the 12 stories or so that I've read that I thought was just not great, but it wasn't terrible. And everything else has been really good and fascinating. Like I'm just loving getting different perspectives of different people during this situation in this fictional world. And I even have to admit, one of the stories fucking made me cry.
Oh.
Like actually ruined my day for the rest of the day at work when I read it because I just was depressed because
Oh.
it made me just think back on Dexter, my dog.
Oh.
And
Oh.
I gotta give a shout out to Lance Langford because he was reading it and he was talking about this author that he is now going to look into more of his stories because of this specific story. And this story was the one that made me fucking cry.
Oh.
But it was so goddamn well done, so well written. But holy shit, does it hit me? It hit me in the feels. And
That sounds upsetting.
like
Sorry.
it wasn't upsetting. It was more just like, it was sad because I experienced something like this and just, I could relate to it.
Yeah.
And so it just
Babies.
yeah, so it made me like cry like when I was on break and I'm like and
Oh.
but then, but stories
Then
that
you
can hit
stop
you
being a
that way.
bitch.
I know. But stories that can hit you that way, that just says something right there. Like
Absolutely. It says that it pulls from the touchy places. It touched you in your no-no spots.
it did. And I'm a fan of it, but I'm not a fan of it at the same
Yeah,
time.
I get it. I understand.
But yeah, I'm loving this series so far. I'm glad that Stephen King is all gung ho, like, hell yeah, go ahead, write more stories in this world. I want to see what people come up with. Like he was 100% on board. It's got one of the authors is fairly well known, and his name's Paul Tremblay. Like
I've
he's
heard that name.
yeah, so he writes a story for it.
Nice.
Then you'll know this name because it's one that we know from other places that are going, I didn't know he wrote books. Wayne Brady. And yes, I mean that Wayne Brady.
Sick. That makes sense.
I'm like, holy shit. So, like, I haven't got to
Yeah, that
his
makes
story
sense.
yet, but he's in here. I'm like, I'll be fucking damned.
That makes sense. I feel
And,
that.
but yeah, this is the first physical copy of a book that I've picked up in about a year. Like, I've just been doing audiobooks lately just because.
Yeah, sames.
But I picked this up as a book at Barnes and Noble, and I've been reading at least 10 to 15 pages whenever I can, and just I am sucked in.
That's sick. Good.
Yeah,
Gives people variety. You know, we talked about The Prowler in case no one watched that 1981 film, and you brought up a book that people actually may not know about.
right. Well, and then you also brought up the walking tour.
That's true. If anyone's ever in Toronto, they can go on the haunted walks.
Exactly.
And I'm actually supposed to go on one in Newcastle when I go back. And
Ooh, nice.
yeah, but this one they're like I don't know how this is gonna go because they're like we may come across ghosts on the walk. There may be some
Oh,
paranormal
jeez.
activity. But you know what? It is England. It's a lot older there. Fuck, there could be. You know
Fair.
what? There fucking could be. Who am I to say otherwise, right?
Yeah,
So,
that's fair.
right? You never know. You never know what could happen. But yeah, well that concludes what we've watched up to this point.
Yeah, yeah. And how many are you at now?
80.
80. Okay, because
Yep.
Tim Davis was, I just listened to their most recent episode and he's going, he was asking like what him and Luffy were at, and he's going, let's just give the Friday Nightmares something to laugh at since they're probably at like 100 something by now. But nope, so you're at 80, I am at 51. So Tim Davis, we're not at 100 yet. I probably
But
won't
you
be.
did like Jurassic World Rebirth, and that does change things here at Friday Night.
Yeah, we have to kind of check. I gotta check your temperature, buddy. Are you feeling
Yeah.
okay? Do you have
He's
Captain
like,
Trips?
you guys are fucking assholes. You know what, Tim? You're right. I finished the film. Who am I? Again, I finished it. Finished it. Who am I to judge? You
Where I
know,
can
who am
judge
I?
because I refuse to watch
That's true. You can't
it.
judge. But yeah, it's been a slower year, and I'll be honest, I don't have the time I used to. And also sometimes I look at a film and I'm like, no.
Yeah, that's been me lately. I'm just looking at him going,
No.
nah.
No. I know what this is gonna be. And you know, I don't think I have the energy to
Yep.
sit through this. And that
Like
happens.
like
That
Tim Davis,
happens.
he said something that kind of speaks to what we're talking about here, and it's he's choosing this year because he's only at 36, I think he said, and
Yeah,
he
that's a
says
good number.
he's like, I'm choosing quality over quantity this year. He's like,
Yeah.
I'm like, yep,
Yeah.
that's kind of where we're at.
I do think it's important to watch a variety. Like, I think
Yeah.
if you only watch theatrical releases and you turn your nose down at foreign films or things on Shudder, if it's not theatrically released, then you don't watch it. I do think as a horror fan, you are missing out. I do think there's some good VODs out there. I do think there's some decent stuff that you can find on Tubi. There's been some great films on Netflix over the years. And Shudder's hit or miss, but they always bring the variety.
Oh yeah.
So but I do think at some point, you know,
When you watch as many movies
yeah,
as we do, you can kind of figure out right
you
from,
know,
yeah.
right? And we know indie and we know real indie, right? Like we know the difference between them. And I will always encourage people to watch foreign films because I do think there's a really good amount of foreign films that are out there that
Hmm.
people skip by and then they get remade as American or, typically American remakes. And eh, they're usually okay, but I have yet to see an American remake that outshines a foreign film, in my opinion, in the
Yes.
last recent years. I find that they usually miss the point or they kind of don't have the folklore or the culture to really back it up. I think of all the Japanese stuff. Um, but yeah, I do think this year definitely has been slower, and I feel like a top 10 will not be hard for me to do this year.
No,
You
I'll
know what
say
I mean?
I think at least my top five will not be hard because I got those pretty much cemented in place. My bottom five, like the 6 through 10, I have at least 10 to 12 films that could all fit there. So I just kind of that's where I'll probably have the hardest time.
Yeah, it will be interesting. I got to go back to listening to Tim and Daniel. I haven't listened in a while.
You're not a true friend anymore, Heather.
I
Remember how
know.
you used to
Well,
give
but
me shit?
Jurassic World, like honestly, I don't even know anymore what to think. But yeah, I'm glad that 36 I would say is still a lot of movies. Like I would still say that for this year that's actually a lot.
Yeah, and
That's not just theatrical releases, you know what
yeah,
I mean?
exactly.
That's and they don't get many in the and like they
Yeah,
just watch or maybe he's talking about the original
I
Jurassic
think he
World.
is.
That must be it. He
They
just must be
finally got it over
confused.
there.
He's like, "Oh, finally, the raptor and the dinosaur teaming up together and the T-Rex, it was great." But yeah, we'll be back again in November, hopefully with watched weapons and I don't know what else is coming out this year. Is there another Terrifier movie?
No, there's not another Terrifier movie this year. There will be one, I think, next year. But
Okay.
there was what people are comparing. Oh, it's called Halloween, and it's what I'm seeing websites call it is the British's answer to Terrifier.
Uh,
So we'll see. But I think that's coming out
okay.
soon.
Key. And isn't that Strangers trilogy supposed to come out this year?
Yep. Yeah, the second one I think is supposed to be out October. Black Phone 2 is coming out. There's a couple more. I just recently read a list of ones that are coming out between September and October, and it's a pretty long list of movies. Like we've got quite a bit
Oh,
coming out.
well, we got shit to talk about in November. So on that, between work and travel and weddings,
Yes.
Scott and I more than likely will not record again until November. We'll see if we happen to feel that so inspired come October, if we've watched enough and we can make the time. But if you don't hear from us until November, that's why. And then we'll come back again for an award show.
Yes. And maybe that'll be our last show. Who knows? We will figure
We'll
that out as
tell
it
you
gets going.
though
Yeah,
during the
we
recordings.
yeah, we won't be like, okay, we'll play another episode and then just leave y'all hanging. We will
Yeah,
let you know.
no, we'll tell you. If we're
Yeah,
done, we're done. We'll even get the check. Don't worry about it. We
exactly.
big spenders here over Friday Nightmares. So, if you haven't, please join the Legion Patreon. Even though we will slowly be pulling back and leaving the Legion Patreon, they do support a lot of podcasters out there. They have supported Scott and I for 5 years. We are grateful for them. We would not be here if it wasn't for Bo. And oh my God, what's the man that took over? Do you remember?
I believe his
I want
name's
to say
Kevin.
Kevin. For Bo and Kevin, thank you for all you have done. So if you're not a member of the Legion Patreon yet, Scotty, 2025 Scotty, not 1996 Scotty, has a question for you.
Well, in the words of Jennifer Love Hewitt from the masterpiece that is I Know What You Did Last Summer of 2025, I'll say it exactly like she did. What are you waiting for? Come on, what are you waiting for?
it was
Join us.
it was great. She's like, "What are you waiting for? What are
And
you
then she
waiting
screamed it.
for?" It
And
was
then she
so
screamed it.
good.
Because
Did
at
she
first I'm
scream
going,
it?
oh, come on. Yeah, I was like, oh, come on, Jennifer, you gotta scream it.
Was great. Oh man, good times had by all. So we'll see you next time, either October or November. You will hear from us as we continue to wrap towards the end of this year and hopefully have more things to share about positive movies that we've seen.
Yes. So yeah, thank you as always. And yep, as always for thank you. Yeah, God, I can't talk. Thank you as always for supporting us throughout these years, and it's been wonderful. And yep, we will talk to you on the next episode. So until next time, kitties, unpleasant dreams.
Yeah.